Hi there, I'm Becca Feeken, and I'm a licensed designer with Spellbinders. Today I'm going to show you something really fun. I made a mini album, but that's not what we're going to be doing. I'll show you the mini album, and then let me tell you what we're going to do to it. So this is a mini album that has several pages, and you can see that it kind of has a channel right here. It's the perfect place to put a pop-up. So I've created an element that fits into a mini album. Typically these are horizontal, and this is a vertical one. Works with cards and it works with mini albums. So let me show you what the dies look like. Here are 3 of the dies. One is an inlay, and this is the interactive element that we're going to be using. The first way that I'm going to use it, as I said, is in this mini album, and I already have the pieces cut, so I'm going to show you how I assemble them. I'm going to take, and with adhesive, I will take these pieces and I'm going to link them together with tape. Just come along and I'll put adhesive right at that score line, and I need to do that on 3 of the 4 pieces. So just a tiny bit of tape. You can trim it if you like. I'll tell you that the key to this is getting it straight. Just taking your time and getting it straight. And I'm not going to need it on that end one, and you'll see why soon. Now, the base that I need, I'm going to do the base from this color, and I can use any of these for embellishment. So I'm going to use 2 of them for embellishment. That means I will just glue them down into place. And actually, I'll go ahead and I'll connect them together first. So just remove the liner. Okay, so essentially that creates a long strip. And because we pieced it together, that's going to make us already have some built-in score lines. I didn't use this last tab, so we're just going to take a pair of scissors and cut that off. Snip that off. Now the filigree is awfully nice. I don't need any of the tabs, so I'm just going to go ahead and use scissors and cut that off as well. For 2 of them. And then I'll glue them down with a white glue, and then I'll give them just a second to dry. So open up my white glue, add a little stream, and then add it right here. Hold it down for a second and let that glue absorb into the fiber of the paper so that it will hold. So do that with the other one. I'm going to do it on the other end. And just go around the edge. Doesn't have to be a heavy application of glue, just scant. It's going to be enough. And so there we go. Put that, and I'll hold it down so that it'll adhere. So we have that part ready. Now we have the interactive piece. And if you look at it close, you'll see that there are a set of score lines. There are also perforations. I say go ahead and score along, fold along any score line and flex along any perforation line. So I'm just going to flex here, I'll flex here, and I'll flex here. And then I know that I want to get those score lines. I love to put the leading edge down on the table so that I have a little bit of leverage, and then I pull back so that I can get at that fold and press it. Same thing, I'll turn around and I'll put the edge down on the table and then pull back toward the score line, and then I'll crease. And that seems to give me the most control. Okay, so there's a part of this that needs to get adhered, and I like to, and I know that it's going to go on the card this way. I like to There we go. Push it so that I have a diamond on the side, and I need that diamond on the other side as well. You can tell that you've done it right if you have a triangle there. It's that triangle that's going to need adhesive. So I just go across the bottom, pull this off, and I will come here with a trim, and then I'll come down the other side of the triangle. Okay, so we have one side of this done, and I need to turn it over and do it on the other side as well. Okay, so I'm coming in here to an open album page where I'm going to seat this mechanism, and it's sticky. I have the adhesive on both of these diamonds. You can line up the vertical lines where you can tell that there was a score mark, and at the same time center it so that it falls into that channel in the book. So just line it up so that all your lines are running together. Now the only place that it's going to adhere is on both of those triangles. So once it's in and your book is all the way open, you're pretty good to go ahead and press. And then when you go to put it in, just pop up the end and pop up the other end so that it folds easily, and it will go to the inside of the book. Okay, so that's half of the mechanism. The other half is this banner set that we've already put together. So now we'll go to the banner. I like to fold the banner so it's a W. So we will just fold it like this, and that's how we will be entering it. So I'm going to set that down for just a second. And then if you'll look, there are two tabs right here. I'm going to put adhesive on both of those tabs because that's where we catch the banner. Just put a little piece here and just make sure that it's real aggressive glue, and you do not want extra adhesive hanging off the end. It could potentially catch and your mechanism won't do what it's supposed to do, so just stay within the area of the tab. I have one more piece, and I'll just put that there. And I will pull up the liner. All right, and so I'm going to press that flat. Now I'm going to come back in with this W, with the banner element that I've got shaped like a W, and I'm going to center it over this vertical element. If you look closely at the element, you'll see that there are two divots on the side. That's a halfway point. So if I match up this line with those divots, I will be centered. The only other thing I need to do is center it from left to right so that the element underneath does not show. So once I get there, I can press that down, and my hope is that it catches those tabs. And we'll just make that so. I'm going to reach underneath and make sure. And then for the first time, you're going to just kind of help it along. You help it, it will twist and close. So when you go to open your album, it will open out like so. And then with a little exercise, my adhesive is coming up a little bit. So I'll burnish that again. But the little bit of exercise, it becomes easier. Just help it along the first couple of times so that you can coax the paper into doing what it's supposed to do. And then that's our interactive element. So what I see you doing with it is LOVE or MOM. And so they'll get just a little bit of surprise when they go into your next mini album. So now I'm going to do a card with the same element. It's a little bit of a different technique, but I'll show you how easy it is. Okay, so if we're going to go ahead and make a card, I have 4 panels here and I'm just going to show you how it kind of goes. Now, these pieces all have tabs on them. So the first thing you need to do is you need to cut off the tabs, and I'm going to leave the tabs on the right hand side of this piece. So I've done that. Then I'm going to cut all of these tabs off on the right piece. So what I'm constructing is a card base. And that's a real quick cut. So there's my card base. And then I have some liner pieces that actually go on the front side. I'm going to cut the tabs off of both of those. And this is just something I'm doing to assemble this, show you how to assemble the card. Okay, and I will cut this tab off as well. There we go. So to make our card base, essentially, we're going to create a hinged piece. And then I have 2 upper pieces. To create the hinge piece, what I'm going to do is put glue on both of these tabs. Just squeeze out a little glue, and then I'm going to overlap the right over the left. And by leaving those tabs in place, I'm creating a hinge. Now the hinge is going to get hidden because we're going to put something decorative on the front. So I'm going to let those set up just a little bit, but I'm going to turn them over so that I can glue these other pieces down. So just take your glue, run along the edge very quickly. Doesn't need to be heavy with glue, just scant. And also you probably want to put just a little bit in the center and then glue that down. Glue it right in place, right over the top of the one that's underneath. And the same with the other piece. Just glue that, glue that, glue that. Now this is all in preparation for another base where I can use the interactive element, because what you saw before is I used it in a channel and now I'm basically using it in a crack. So I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so now that's in place and this is our card base. And as you see, I've just got one fold in the middle. So here is the interactive piece. As I pointed out before, it has these score lines. Well, for this particular application, what you need to do is you need to put a score line in the center. I'm just going to bring in this scoreboard here and line this up. Incidentally, where you see this diamond, that is the center, and it's an excellent way to get lined up on a point. So I'm going to run down 6 here just to make sure I'm lined up, and I'm going to add a score line right in the center, and then I'm going to fold that piece in half. Now, just like we did with the other one, if there's a pref line, you're going to go ahead and fold that. And if there's a score line other than the 2 that we skipped, you would go ahead and fold those. So I'm just going to take a second to get this piece prepared. Okay. We run into the same thing where if you fold it in half and then pop it over to its side, there are 2 triangles. That's where you're going to put your adhesive. So I'll just go in with adhesive like this, and I'll do a little bit of adhesive on the other side, and then I want to show you how you place it in there. Okay, now I'm not going to tape the whole thing. I'll just do this far so that I can show you. And what I do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to place that somewhere on the center with the point placed on the center line, and I'll press it down. Then I'm going to fold that over, okay, and engage that other side. And that's what gets the mechanism on the inside of the card. So I have one done here, and I'm going to bring it in and show you. It's the same kind of card that I made with the same kind of hinge, and we love it. Here's the element, and that is just so sweet. So you can put little sentiments there. You can have somebody's monogram. I just think it's a very surprising little element that people aren't expecting, and I hope it inspires you. So you can do it for both cards and albums. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please share, like, subscribe, and leave a message. Happiness is life handmade.